So location is prime today. Wow. We're going to do some reading. I brought my book. But we're here for a bit of a decompress session as well, I suppose. The book put itself into practice last night. The power of now. Just life happened, I guess, is the best way to put it. And what do you do? There was lots I wanted to do, lots I could have done, lots all of us could have done. And instead we all managed to take a breath. We all managed to deal with the situation. We all managed to stay in the now. We all managed to stay home after the situation, and we all managed to sleep. That hasn't happened in I don't know how long. That's 4 people and others involved, and my team, me and my 3, we pulled together like the team that we used to be, that we are, and we stayed in the now, and together we got through a really hard time last night. I couldn't be prouder of every one of us. We all just, I don't know. I think we're getting tired of the circles, the nonsense, the repeat, the same words, the same actions, the same nonsense. Just the circles just aren't stopping. And I think last night was it. We needed that minute. We needed that hope that, yeah, it's not looking perfect right now, guys, but we've got each other. We've got our home. We've got our health. In that moment, what else do you need? What else do you need? Why I'm live, because the moment's over and we're great, we're good, pat on the back. I guess I just needed a minute with my people. We did it, but it still happens, you know. It still happens. There's still things from my past I didn't know I was still dealing with. You know, I thought I've overcome this and I've overcome that, and you think that it's gone, and then something comes up, and that little bit of pain you thought you'd let go of is there's still a little bit there. You didn't know. I didn't know it was still there until it was there. Lost me for a minute. And it was just the blink of an eye, but it was enough. It was enough. Anything can happen in the blink of an eye, you know. You lose yourself, you lose your mind, you lose your body control, you lose yourself. And that can result in much. It is by the grace of God that it does not result in much more than it did, but it was enough. Enough that it caused me to react. That's not okay. But it's also a matter of understanding that once I realized what was happening, my emotions, where I was in the moment, it was like my body was fighting my mind. My mind was fighting my body, you know? Part of my mind was like, I know I want to go do this. And my body's like, no. And then because my body listens, part of it was like, well, we're still going. And part of my mind was like, no. I felt like I was split in two for just a moment. I don't like not having control of myself, and I'm legit for what happened to an extent. Not as far as it went, but fighting myself, that was an unbelievable aftermath that I'm reliving now. Just the struggle I had with myself, even before the reaction, even before the action, just coming down the stairs before I was even in the situation. Just my body's going and my mind's like, this is what's going to be done, and then the other half of me is fighting everything. I've never been so split, and in the blink of an eye I made a mistake, and in the same blink of an eye I ended the mistake. It could have been, my goodness, mistakes can be worse and they can be better and they can just be, but it just was. And the lack of control for just the blink of an eye over a past moment of my life is the overwhelming that I feel. It was a moment that I feel extreme guilt for. Shock and betrayal. It's a combination of a multitude of feelings. It was a bad situation that ended badly and didn't have to. And it happened many years ago, and it resulted in just losing myself for a moment last night. This book, repeating in the now, is kind of what helps snap me back. Just repeating in my head, be in the now, be in the now. And I had to think about that. What does that mean? Be in the now. And I wasn't thinking about the situation anymore. So my body and my mind was able to just kind of step back from it. I was kind of like, if you were to watch me, I'll probably look like I froze. And for just a minute, I was no longer thinking in the situation. I was observing outward. Be in the now. You have to observe yourself. You can't be in the now if you're in the now. You have to observe the now to be in the now. And I was in the moment, but I could see myself almost from above or around. And it was, I could see everything. And I knew what I wanted to do. I knew the anger inside of me. I knew the pain inside of me and what past me wanted to do. But I knew what present me really wanted and the truth behind that. And because I was able to pull myself from being in the now and just observing the now, I was able to take control of the now and remove myself and change that moment. I was able to change the now from the disaster that it was and was about to become to just stand there. I just stood there for a minute. I just stood there and breathed. I watched the situation unfold. The people were leaving. Everybody was in their separate rooms, so everything was okay for a minute. And I just realized that in this moment right now, nothing needs to happen. Everybody's separated. Everybody's okay. This person is leaving our home. It's okay. And I didn't need to do anything. And I thought if I do anything, it's not going to be the right thing. So I just stood there breathing and being aware of everything around me instead of feeling it and being in it, just being aware of what was happening. And it's okay. Like telling myself, you're okay. It's okay. Everybody is okay. That's the most important thing. Everybody's okay. It's not just I'm okay. It's everybody's okay. And once you can observe that and not just get rid of the feelings, once you observe that everybody's okay and what's going on in the now and what you can and can't do, it made the absolute difference from something that was already not okay to this is okay, we've got this, we're a team. And when the person had left, the team came together and the four of us were able to work out the rest of the evening, do what we needed to do to reconcile the situation. We held each other, we cried, we talked, and we didn't even talk about what happened. None of us talked about what happened. We all just kind of patted each other on the back, like, hey guys, we're all still standing here. We've been through a lot, we've been through a lot. Standing up bridges, wanting to jump, and medications from our doctors and shit, and tearing it on each other. And for the first time in a very long time, collectively, we didn't do any of the above. All of us stayed together and we worked together as a team, and we got through it as a team. And more importantly than talking about what happened in that moment was talking about how we were all still there and how we got through it and how we're all okay and how we're a team and how we were okay. In that moment, it wasn't about what happened. It was about how we got through it. What happened can be dealt with the next day, right? But how we got through it was more important in that moment. So that's what we talked about for just a minute. We talked about how we collectively got through it and how we're collectively okay and how collectively we stayed together and collectively we're in this moment. And we managed to go to bed. I didn't think any of us would sleep. It was 2 o'clock in the morning. I didn't think any of us would sleep. And it ended. And it was like all of us just kind of took a breath, you know, not because of the person being gone or anything like that. A person's a person, you know. This person didn't wake up being a monster. They are the way they are for a reason. But it was an opportunity for us to breathe for a minute and just be like, it's okay. Like, something big happened and it's going to hurt for a little bit. We're going to deal with it. We're going to have to deal with it. We're going to talk about it, you know. We're going to get through it. But not tonight. Not tonight. Tonight we don't have to. Tonight we already got through it. Tonight we got through it, and that's it. And today, I don't know. Today we take it a moment at a time. Today I needed to get out. I needed to sit by myself. I need to be with my people. That's why I'm live with you guys. You're my people. And I just need to think about everything before I go home and face my team and decide what the next step is. So that's just life is crazy. Life is crazy. If you get lost in that, that's all you are, is exactly that, lost. If you get lost in the craziness of life, you're exactly that, just lost. It is what it is, and if you can't put yourself in the moment, remove yourself from the moment and just observe the moment. I never want to go back to the way I was. I never want to be just so angry you can't think, that when your loved one is in, not even a loved one, when a human is in front of you, that you're so angry, you're so disturbed, you're so anxious, it's so bad that you destroy them. You destroy them. I don't want to be that person, you know. Like, the last thing I said to this person, I had so many things I wanted to say to this person, and I had an opportunity to tear them apart. The name that I have over me suggests that I should. They call me monster. I'm not. The last words I said to this person was that I was sorry I didn't get to know them. I said, you introduced yourself to me as a liar. I didn't actually get to know you as a human being. I have absolutely no idea who you are. The person that you brought to me, that you introduced to me, that I've known for the last month or two, is not the person that I know that you are. I said, you've chosen to be a liar, and because of that, you've caused so much damage. And I said, I'm really sorry that you chose that as your life. I said, I don't know what brought you here. You were in the right house to have figured that out. This is the house of Zen. This is what we do. We listen to stories here. And I said, you chose to be a liar, and I'm really sorry that you did. I'm really sorry that that's what you chose to do. I said, but you don't have to be that person. And I told them to never come back again. That's not being a hero. That's being human. That person didn't wake up the person that they are today. They were somebody's little boy or girl. It doesn't matter who they were. I was somebody's little boy or girl, you know. They woke up and they opened their eyes like every baby does, looking around for their love, for their safety, for their security. And they're handed to a bunch of people like me, my parents' parents. And because we're parents, we got it all figured out. Their parents didn't have it figured out. Because of that, it affected them. They've made choices, and it's entirely their choice at this stage to do what they're doing. They're not an infant. But us parents, we really got to grow up, man. We are so important. We are so important as an individual, but we are so important as a parent. You're a child. That's your little buckaroo. They're watching you. You don't want to know what you're doing wrong in your life? It's as easy as looking at your kids. Your kids are your mirror image. If you're doing good, look at your kids. They'll let you know. If you're not, look at your kids. They'll let you know. How else can you fix yourself? Just look at your kids. It'll tell you everything you need to know. There's no need to take it out on them. There's no need to, what the fuck's going on? I don't understand. Look at your kids, man. Look at your kids. They're little versions of you. If you're confused on what's going wrong, look at your kids. They'll let you know. They'll let you know you're being a liar or a cheater or selfish. You know, they'll let you know, and they'll let you know without judgment. Kids are so important. Doesn't matter if they're yours or not. You know, even if they're not your kids, people are important. We learn at all ages. We have so much to learn. We think that we've got it all figured out. You know, I'm 40, I went to college, or, you know, I've got a university degree, or I grew up rich, or, you know, they qualify me as a genius, or just I'm good at this, or I'm good at... No. Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you. You know, there's always somebody out there, and it's not supposed to be a competition. I thought we were supposed to cross the finish line together, and everybody's out to get each other, you know? Doesn't matter what got you to where you are today. Let's talk about that if you feel the need to. But the fact is that you are here today. You don't live in the past. You don't have to do what you're doing to have gotten you here today. Those are the choices that you made to have gotten here today. You know, something bad happened. You're given the opportunity to decide what to do with that. There's no gun to your head once you're out of the situation. You know? Wow. I almost feel like I should do a separate video for the reading. Ha. Oh, guys. What the fuck are we doing? What are we doing? You know? I'm devastated for what happened to everybody, you know. I want to hug everybody and just, can we talk about this? Can we figure out, can I know your story? Can I know your story so I have a better understanding of what you're holding on to and what we can work through and what you're willing to work through and what you're not willing to work through? Like, this is solidified? This is who you want to be based on that? I don't understand that anymore, you know? I don't understand that anymore. I had such a big trigger last night based on something that happened really bad to me. And I made choices. We all make choices, you know? My kids made choices. This could have been so much worse than it was. And we all made choices. And because we made different choices, everything went different last night for us. It was that simple. It was that simple. There's a wasp attacking a spider. Oh, why are you trying to drown me? I've never seen that before. As a spider coming down and the wasp was trying to like go over him and pushing him down into the water. The spider's trying to get up to his nest. Okay, so we are going to go back. There's a gigantic snapping turtle right in front of me. Are you ready to see this guy? Oh, don't go away. Don't go away. I don't know if he'll come back up. I'll just leave it here. Maybe he'll come back up. I may have scared him away with my phone. He was so big. And that's so cool because earlier I saw just a painted turtle trying desperately to get up on this log. Where did you go, little buddy? I call him little. I don't know why I'm calling him little. He was so big. It's okay, buddy. Where did you go? Oh, he was so big. Aw, that's too bad. I scared him with my quick movement. That's okay. This is where I'm at right now. I assume he may come up again. I am under the bridge. It is really nice here. I feel like, no, that's a rock. I thought that was him. Damn. He was so big, his head was massive. It's a good thing I don't have my feet in the water here. I was going to do that. And something's like, don't do that. I know somebody lost their little floaty device, kid's floaty device. Oh, he was so big. Damn, that sucks. That would have been a neat moment. But this is where I'm at. Just decompressing and taking a moment for myself. You guys have absolutely no idea how much you mean to me, being able to go live and post things like this. You're my world. You know, I don't need to talk to you all the time. I don't need to be with you all the time. We're just kind of here in each other's lives, and it just is. Let's see if I can get some more grass background instead of just me. Let's give you more than just me. I don't know if I can. I think I just put it on a worse angle. I'm sorry. Work with me here, guys. What's a good angle? That would be perfect. Let's see. That's too much. That's too high. I can't do that. Well, it is what it is. You get me. Unless I turn you, and then you get the water. I'm propping you up in my shoes. Well, that's too bad. I've been moving this whole time, you silly little turtle. Come back. Let me show the people how big you were. I have to be careful. I'm right next to a dozen spider webs. They look like they're not wood spiders. They little smaller versions of wood spiders. Let's just say they're spiders, okay? I'm surrounded by spiders. Naturally, this is where I'm sitting, so. It's a good crayfish spot. I'm surrounded by crayfish bodies from all of the seagulls. There's an elderly gentleman floating just down from me. It's wonderful. I love it. I love it here. Okay, so we were on chapter 6. Relationship as spiritual practice. Chapter 6. Discussing the pain body. Oh, sorry. It's a bee. We all know what happens when bees come out of nowhere. Val goes from being just like totally cool and in control to everybody's going to die. So here we go. The greater part of human pain is unnecessary. It is self-created as long as the unobserved mind runs your life. Okay, here we go. I've already got a piece to highlight. Where are you? No. Oh, I forgot I brought nail polish. I'm going to paint my toes. Where is my marker? Hang on, guys. I'm trying to feel in my Mary Poppins purse. No, that's not. It's purse, that's in another pouch. Okay. So again, the greater part of human pain is unnecessary. It is self-created as long as the unobserved mind runs your life. So what did I say earlier? I said that in the moment that I was in the now. I was not observing the now. When I removed myself from being in the now to observing the now, I was able to take better control of the situation as I was not feeling it. I was not just acting in the moment. I was actually watching what was going on. He's back. I'm going to go slow. Don't go anywhere. Hang on. Do you see his head? Do you see him? Let's see if I can zoom in. Look at the size of this guy. He's huge. Oh my God, you would take my whole foot. Hi. Hello there. That is so cool. I have a huge snapping turtle. Hi, buddy. Welcome to our reading. He's huge. That is fascinating. How wonderful. Aw, that is appreciative. Tell me that wasn't perfect timing. Everything happens for a reason, guys. Out here having an icky day. Well, not an icky day, just a moment. And we're visited by a gorgeous turtle. How wonderful is that? Life is just grand. Okay. The pain that you create now is... Oh, he just left. The pain that you create now is always some form of non-acceptance, some form of unconscious resistance to what is. What a wonderful way to start today's reading. See, I had a feeling I was here for a reason. I wasn't even going to read. I was going to do this later if I had time. This read is for me. It's my read. On the level of thought, the resistance is some form of judgment. On the emotional level, it is some form of negativity. The intensity of the pain depends on the degree of resistance to the present moment, and this in turn depends on how strongly you are identified with your mind. The mind always seeks to deny the now and to escape from it. Okay, so apparently all of this is really good. So funny, you can hear the change in the water when something's in it, like come close. I can just hear it. I'm constantly looking up. Okay, the water changed. What's going on? What's now coming up on the rocks? I'm going to lose my data. That's okay. I don't care right now. In other words, the more you are identified with your mind, the more you suffer. Or you may put it like this: the more you are able to honor and accept the now, the more you are free of pain, of suffering, and free of the egoic mind. Some spiritual teachings state that all pain is ultimately an illusion and that this is true. The question is it true for you? A mere belief doesn't make it true. Do you want to experience pain for the rest of your life and keep saying that it is an illusion? Does that free you from the pain? What we are concerned with here is how you can realize this truth, that is, make it real in your own experience. Pain is inevitable as long as you are identified with your mind, which is to say, as long as you are unconscious, spiritually speaking. I am talking here primarily of emotional pain, which is also the main cause of physical pain and physical disease. Resentment, hatred, self-pity, guilt, anger, depression, jealousy, and so on, even the slightest irritation, are all forms of pain. And every pleasure of emotional high contains within itself the seed of pain. Its inseparable opposite, which will manifest in time. So yes, just because you can turn off the negative doesn't mean that the positive emotions are something you should be feeling as well. You can feel too much excitement. That too much excitement can lead to anxiety, it can lead to frustration, it can lead to ADHD, it can lead to your tummy hurting and you wanting to throw up. It can just, too much of anything is not a good thing. Just contain yourself. Stop feeling. Anybody who has ever taken drugs to get high will know that the high eventually turns into a low, that the pleasure turns into some form of pain. Many people also know from their own experience how easily and quickly an intimate relationship can turn from a source of pleasure to a source of pain. Seen from a higher perspective, both the negative and the positive polarities are faces of the same coin, are part of the underlying pain that is inseparable from the mind-identified egoic state of consciousness. There are two levels to your pain: the pain that you create now and the pain from the past that still lives on in your mind and body. Like something was beside you. As long as you are unable to access the power of the now, every emotional pain that you experience leaves behind a residue of pain that lives on in you. It emerges from the pain from the past, which was already there, and becomes lodged in your mind and body. This, of course, includes the pain you suffered as a child, caused by the unconsciousness of the world into which you were born. So I'm just going to reread this part. As long as you are unable to access the power of the now, every emotional pain that you experience leaves behind a residue of pain that lives on in you. Okay. This accumulated pain is a negative energy field that occupies your body and mind. If you look on it as an invisible entity on its own right, you are getting quite close to the truth. It's emotional pain body. The pain body has two modes of being, dormant and active. It may be dormant 90% of the time. In a deeply unhappy person, though, it may be active up to 100% of the time. Some people live most entirely through their pain body, while others may experience it only in certain situations, such as intimate relationships or situations linked with past loss or abandonment, physical or emotional hurt, and so on. Anything can trigger it, particularly if it resonates with a pain pattern from your past. When it is ready to awaken from its dormant stage, even a thought or an innocent remark made by someone close to you can activate it. Breaking identification with the pain body. The pain body doesn't want you to observe it directly and see it for what it is. The moment you observe the pain body, feel its energy field within you, you take your attention into it. The identification is broken. So that's an example of going into the past and trying to observe or deal with a moment from your past, a traumatic moment from your past. And instead of just observing it just observing it as if you're not even the person who was involved. You're not the victim, and you're neither. You're just an outsider observing it. If you're able to do that, is what they're asking you, is what they're telling you to do. If you're not able to just observe it as if you were an outsider, or separate yourself from the emotions and the feelings that you would experience as you're watching yourself in that moment, that's when you start to feel the pain. You start to attach yourself to the physical, reliving once again something that you've already lived. So your body has let go of what happened, but because you're now reliving it in your head and you're reliving it in the in the mind and the body, you are now bringing back that physical and emotional pain and literally reliving the whole thing over again. For example, last night, again, I said that something from my past triggered me and came into my present. That's exactly what I mean. That's exactly what I mean. Something from my past wasn't dealt with. Every time I think about it, instead of dealing with it, I'm reliving it, I'm feeling it, I'm experiencing it. I haven't removed myself and gotten to the root of it per se. And because of that, it came up into the present, and it contributed to some of what happened last night. So that's a good example of not going back to the point of reliving it. Again, why in heaven's name would you want to relive it? But if you need to go back because something's not done, it keeps coming up, get to the root of it, but don't get in it. Don't be in the moment. Observe the moment. Observe it. I got a goose sneaking its way up. A little water behind me here. Silly little thing. Okay. A higher dimension of consciousness has come in. I call it presence. You are now the witness or the watcher of the pain body. This means that it cannot use you anymore by pretending to be you, and it can no longer replenish itself through you. You have found your own innermost strength. Some pain bodies are obnoxious but relatively harmless. For example, like a child who won't stop whining. Others are vicious and destructive monsters, true demons. Some are physically violent, many more are emotionally violent. Some will attack people around you or close to you, while others may attack you, their host. Thoughts and feelings you have about your life then become deeply negative and self-destructive. Illnesses and accidents are often created in this way. Some pain bodies drive their hosts to suicide. When you thought you knew a person and then you are suddenly confronted with this alien, nasty creature for the first time, you are in for quite a shock. It is more important, however, to observe it in yourself than in someone else. Watch out for any sign of unhappiness in yourself. Okay. Watch out for any sign of unhappiness in yourself, in whatever form. It may be the awakening pain body. This can take the form of irritation, impatience, a somber mood, a desire to hurt, anger, rage, depression, and need to have some drama in your relationship, and so on. Catch it the moment it awakens from its dormant state. So that is actually a really good, this reading is for me today. It's absolutely crazy that this is the reading. It's my reading for today. I'm having pain in my right shoulder. It's not going away. It did for a while, but it's not going away again. And I can't quite get to the root of exactly what the problem is. What am I not dealing with? I know that it being in the shoulder means that it's something that I feel like I'm carrying, a weight that I'm carrying. It's a tensity, so it's a form of control. I feel like I have to be in control. I'm very tense about it, so there's things that I'm not letting go. There's something that I'm still trying to control. There's still things that I need to let go of. So when you start to feel pain in your body, try to figure out what it means. A tense, pinched shoulder pain is what I'm going through. Well, contribute those words, tense and pinched, to what's going on in your life and get to the root of what's going on. So that's what I've been working on. I have the gist of quite a few things that are contributing to this, so I know some things are the reason for this, but it's time to let some things go. So it's just a matter of figuring out how the hell we're going to do this. But I'm going to reread this because this is really, really good. Watch out for any sign of unhappiness in yourself in whatever form. It may be the awakening pain body. This can take form of irritation, impatience, a somber mood, a desire to hurt, anger, rage, depression, a need to have some drama in your relationship, and so on. Catch it the moment it awakens from its dormant state. The pain body wants to survive, just like every other entity in existence, and it can only survive if it gets you to unconsciously identify with it. It can then rise up, take you over, become you, and live through you. It needs to get its food through you. It will feed on any experience that resonates with its own kind of energy. Anything that creates further pain in whatever form, anger, destructiveness, hatred, grief, emotional drama, violence, and even illness. So the pain body, when it is taking you over, will create a situation in your life that reflects back its own energy frequency for it to feed on. Pain can only feed on pain. Pain cannot feed on joy. It finds it quite indigestible. Misery loves misery. That's where that came from. So I'll write this one again. So the pain body, when it is taking you over, will create a situation in your life that reflects back its own energy frequency for it to feed on. Pain can only feed on pain. Once the pain body has taken you over, you want more pain. You become a victim or a perpetrator. Again, misery loves company. It's easier to stay miserable than it is to try to work towards being happy. You become a victim or a perpetrator. You want to inflict pain or you want to suffer pain, or both. There isn't really much difference between the two. You are not conscious of this, of course, and will vehemently claim that you do not want pain. But look closely and you will find that your thinking and behavior are designed to keep the pain going for yourself and others. If you were truly conscious of it, the pattern would dissolve, for to want more pain is insanity, and nobody is consciously insane. The pain body, which is the dark shadow cast by the ego, is actually afraid of the light of your consciousness. It is afraid of being found out. Its survival depends on your unconscious identification with it, as well as on your unconscious fear of facing the pain that lives in you. But if you don't face it, if you don't bring the light of your consciousness into the pain, you will be forced to relive it again and again. The pain body may seem to you like a dangerous monster that you cannot bear to look at, but I assure you that it is an insubstantial phantom that cannot prevail against the power of your presence. When you become the watcher and start to disidentify the pain, so again, the watcher, removing yourself from being in the now and just observing the now. The pain body will continue to operate for a while and will try to trick you into identifying with it again. Although you are no longer energizing it through your identification, it has a certain momentum, just like a spinning wheel that will keep turning for a while, even when it is no longer being propelled. At this stage, it may also create physical aches and pains in different parts of the body, but they won't last. Stay present, stay conscious. Be the ever-alert guardian of your inner space. You need to be present enough to be able to watch the pain body directly and feel its energy. It then cannot control your thinking. This last part's the only part, the most important part of this whole thing. You need to be present enough to be able to watch the pain body directly and feel its energy. It then cannot control your thinking. I need my marker, my other one. This one needs to be outlined. It's of importance. Where is it? Where is it? I brought everything I need. I always bring everything I need. I've spent my whole life absolutely despising carrying purses, carrying anything. I hate carrying things. And now I can't fathom leaving my house without my Mary Poppins purse. It's got everything I need. So, you need to be present enough to be able to watch the pain body directly and feel its energy. Watch the pain body and feel the energy. Watch and feel. Yes, when you feel the energy but you're not feeling the emotion, you can decide what the problem is. You're feeling the energy. Why is there energy? Why are you feeling anything? Is it something you want to feel? Are you letting me know that you're coming down here? I'm well aware that you were coming down here. I'm not about to go anywhere near you. You're in the water, man. I got geese yelling at me here. Like, we're coming. Just letting you know. We're coming over here. Hi. No, you can't come up on these rocks. There's 100 other rocks to obtain. Go and sit with them. We have 5 geese coming up. They're like announcing themselves. We're coming. Just thought I'd let you know. We're coming. Here, I'll show you. Hey. You're welcome to go up. I won't stop you. What, they're all just going to stop while this guy stops for a minute to eat? Is that the plan here? This is crazy. Look at how close they are. Are they seriously going to go up? This is fantastic. They're going up against the current, by the way. This is not an easy task for them where they are. Look at how close they are. This is crazy. Look at this. Hi. You're beautiful. Hi, guys. The 2 little ones at the back. Aww, they look like their wings aren't quite right. Look at that. Just beautiful. And absolutely no effort for them to just paddle up with those little legs of theirs. That's absolutely crazy. Look how strong that is. And they let themselves go at this point in time. They can easily go upstream. They don't have to go. See how they're fighting themselves to go around the rock? Oh. And he made it. That's strength. That's crazy. That was awesome. Sorry, guys. That deserved a moment. Nature always deserves a moment. Always take a moment. What the hell are you not taking moments for? Okay, where were we? The moment your thinking is aligned with the energy field of the pain body, you are identified with it and again feeding it with your thoughts. For example, if anger is the predominant energy vibration of the pain body and you think angry thoughts, dwelling on what someone did to you or what you are going to do to him or her, then you have become unconscious and the pain body has become you. Where there is anger, there's always pain underneath. So they're saying the pain body, you're bringing up pain from the past and you're bringing it into the present and it's entered your body and your body's now feeling things that it doesn't need to feel. You're not just feeling the anger of the frustration or whatever it is of the moment of what's going in this situation here. Now you're feeling things that are from the past that don't belong. So again, example of last night. I wasn't just in the moment dealing with the in the moment situation. I was also bringing in something that had happened to me in the past, in the moment, which is the actual reason for my reaction to what was going on. So be very, very cautious of that. Or when a dark mood comes upon you and you start getting into a negative mind pattern and thinking how dreadful your life is. Your thinking has become aligned with the pain body and you have become unconscious and vulnerable to the pain body's attack. Unconscious, the way that I use the word here, means to be identified with some mental or emotional pattern. It implies a complete absence of the watcher. That again is what I just explained, dealing with things from the past coming into the present when it doesn't belong. Transmuting suffering into consciousness. Sustained conscious attention severs the link between the pain body and your thought process and brings about the process of transmutation. It is as if the pain becomes fuel for the flame of your consciousness, which then burns them brightly as a result. This is a more historic meaning of the ancient art of alchemy, the transmission of base metal into gold, of suffering into consciousness. The split within is healed and you become whole again. Your responsibility then is not to create further pain. Focus attention on the feeling inside of you, instead of feeling your body and the tensity and the crying and the anger and the heat and the frustration. Instead of feeling any of that, feel what's inside you. Focus on that for a minute. Know that it is the pain body. Accept that it is there. Don't think about it. Don't let the feeling turn into thinking. Don't judge or analyze it. Don't make an identity for yourself out of it. Stay present and continue to be the observer of what is happening inside you. So remove yourself from the emotions, from, again, the tensity, the what you're feeling on the physical, on the outside. In the moment, say you're in a bad situation, stop feelings and focusing on the fact that you want to punch something, that your face is hot, that you're shaking. Stop feeling on focusing on the physical. Start focusing on the inside. I'm feeling anger, I'm feeling this, start thinking about those words. About the things that you are actually feeling in your body, the emotions. Start titling them and start focusing on the titles. Don't focus on how you're feeling angry, how you're feeling frustrated, how you're feeling anxious, or how much of it that you are feeling, the intensity of it. Just be aware of the fact that you are feeling these things. Be aware of that. If you can start to be aware of that fact that you're feeling these things, that means that you're aware of the fact that you don't want to feel these things. Nobody wants to feel these negative feelings, anger, depression, I hate you, I want to kill you. Nobody actually wants to feel those things. When you become aware of something that you're not wanting to actually be feeling or portraying or experiencing, you have better control. Now you can figure out, why are you feeling it all together? Is it even necessary? You're in a moment of situation. Does it have to affect you like this, or are you able to get through this without going through the physical aspects of it and the thought process that goes along with situations? So usually, again, when something bad happens, you get angry. Identify that. Instead of something bad happening and getting angry about it, stop yourself from feeling anything. Okay, this is a situation that's clearly got my attention. Let's take it from there. Why has it caught your attention? Just because it's caught your attention doesn't mean your attention has to instantly turn into anger, frustration, hate, happiness, joy, sadness. It doesn't matter what the emotion is, negative or positive. You're feeling something. It doesn't always require a feeling. Not everything requires a feeling. And before you give it a feeling, before you give it emotion, before you give anything of you to the moment, put some thought into why. You sure you want to give any piece of you away, or do you just kind of want to observe it? Do you want to experience? You can experience it, or you can just observe it. Figure that out for yourself before you proceed. Ego identification with the pain body. The process that I have just described is profoundly powerful yet simple. It can be taught to a child, and hopefully one day it will be one of the first things children learn in school. Once you have understood the basic principle of being present as the watcher of what happens inside you, and you understand it by experiencing it, you have at your disposal the most potential transformational tool. This is not to deny that you may encounter intense inner resistance to disidentifying from your pain. This will be the case particularly if you have lived closely identified with your emotional pain body for most of your life, and the whole or a large part of your sense of self is invested in it. What this means is that you have made an unhappy self out of your pain body and believe that this mind-made fiction is who you are. In that case, unconscious fear of losing your identity will create strong resistance to any disidentification. In other words, you would rather be in pain, be the pain body, than take a leap into the unknown and risk losing the familiar, unhappy self. And so many people will say that. So many people will do that. A lot of us stay exactly where we are, not because it's not possible. Of course it's possible. Everything is possible. We stay where we are because I don't know. We're afraid of the unknown. I mean, I've stayed in situations for far too long because I was afraid of losing a person. We'll say that's actually one of the biggest reasons some people stay where they are. They're afraid of losing that person. You know, if I don't put up with the beatings, I'm going to lose them. Oh no, you're gonna lose the beatings. You're not going to lose them. They're always going to be somewhere, but you're not going to lose them. You're going to lose the beatings. Be aware of that. If you walk away from a situation where somebody's harming you, you're not losing the person, you are losing the situation. You are leaving the situation. That person is going to be here until their time is up, and that's just reality. So rather you are being beaten by that person or not, that person will exist until it's time for them to not exist. You are not leaving that person. You are leaving the situation. The person's going to be there. Rather you go to Timbuktu and they stay here or not, doesn't matter. The person is here until their time is up. So don't fool yourself with that. I did that for many years. I put up with a lot of things, worried that if I left, I'm never going to see them again. And oh my God, what am I going to do with myself? What if they die? Well, what if you were with them and they were beating you and they died? The only difference that would have made is that during that time, you died with the person. So, give me just a second. I got to respond to this one. I am currently at Turtle Island. Just give me a second. I'm sorry, guys. I know you're probably hearing the ticking, reading my book live. Okay, sorry about that. I don't even know if that stopped recording or if it stayed. So, if it stopped recording, I wrote a message. I'm very sorry. Okay, so, observe the resistance within yourself. Observe the attachment to your pain. Why are you holding on to that pain? That's right. I'm going to say that again. Why are you holding on to the pain? You're not holding on to the person. The person is still there or they're not there. The fact is that rather they're there in the physical or they've passed on. They were there and they're still there at some extent. Either rather they've passed on, they're wherever they are, or they're actually physically here. Rather we're here in the same country or not, doesn't matter. They're still here. They're somewhere. Why are you holding on to the pain? It's not the person you're holding on to. It's the pain you're holding on to. Why are you holding on to that pain? When I think about my husband, for example, it's the pain that keeps bringing me back. The pain of what was, the pain, the guilt, and everything that we went through. I could have fixed it. I should have fixed it. I should have done better. He should have done better. Why did he leave? Why didn't he leave? Why did he do this? Why didn't I do that? It's endless, round and round and round and round and round. But the root of it is the fact that I was scared to lose him, and so I put up with a lot, and he ended up leaving us. I didn't lose him. I lost the pain. So why are you holding on to the pain? He is still here. We have an odd friendship, but we have some sort of friendship. We keep in touch. I know where he is, and rather I did or didn't anyway, he's made his choice, and the things that brought us both pain are now over. They're over. I don't have to go home to that anymore. He doesn't have to go home to that anymore. So why am I holding on to the pain when the moments that caused the pain are gone and the person is still there? He's the one that matters to me. I couldn't fathom him being dead, even if we're not doing good, I can't fathom him not being in existence, like just living, even if we weren't talking, you need to live. I used to always say that to him. So let go of the pain, realize that the pain was caused because of you and the person, and that it happened. It happened as in past tense, and he's gone as in he's not here doing the pain to you anymore, but he's still alive. So let go of it. Like I need to learn how to do that, and I say that because this is for me. I still have things that I need to let go of. Like my family's everything to me, and not being with them is extremely painful on a daily basis. But I need to learn to realize that what is the root? What is the root? Why am I not going back? What's the root of not going back? The root of not going back is what you've got to get through. And if you decide, once the root has been discovered, if it can be whatever, make your choices from there. But I've got to get to the root before I go back and forth. This yo-yoing isn't okay. Stop yo-yoing. Make a choice and solidify it. Choices can be made. Sometimes they can be changed. Sometimes they can't be changed. But choices need to be made regardless of them being changeable or not. They need to be made. To go around and round and round and expect something different to just happen is literally the definition of insanity. And that's what we're all doing. We're not making choices, and we're wondering how can we feel insane. Well, it's because we're just repeating the same thing again and again. We're not getting anywhere. Observe the resistance within yourself. Observe the attachment to your pain. Be very alert. Observe the peculiar. Observe the peculiar. Oh my God! Why am I struggling with this word? The peculiar. There we go. Pleasure you derive from being unhappy. Observe the compulsion to talk or think about it. The resistance will cease if you make it conscious. You can then take your attention. You know why the resistance will cease? Because then you can't lie to yourself. You can lie to the world. You can tell them why you're doing this, why you're feeling this. You can make up any story you want. You can ignore this, you can ignore that. You can't ignore yourself. You can't lie to yourself. You can't do it. So once you start to observe it, once you start to identify it, what is that? Once you start to acknowledge it, that's when you really start to feel the guilt. That's usually when people start to go to the drugs and the alcohol or the sex or whatever it is that they turn to, because they're starting to see it for themselves and they can't hide it. It can't hide from you. Where are you going to go? You could run from your friends and your family and all the things in the world. You can't run from you. Good luck with that one. You figure that one out. Let me know as I've figured it out. Okay. Give me a second here. Okay. All right. You can then take your attention into the pain body. Stay present as the witness and so initiate its transmutation. Only you can do this. Nobody can do it for you. But if you are fortunate enough to find someone who is intensely conscious, if you can be with them and join them in the state of presence, that can be helpful and will accelerate things. In this way, your own light will quickly grow stronger. When a log that has only just started to burn is placed next to one that is burning fiercely, and after a while they are separated again, the first log will be burning with much greater intensity. After all, it is the same fire. To be such a fire is one of the functions of a spiritual teacher. Some therapists may also be able to fulfill that function, provided that they have gone beyond the level of mind and can create and sustain a state of intense conscious presence while they are working with you. The first thing to remember is this: as long as you can make an identity for yourself out of the pain, you cannot become free of it. As long as part of your sense of self is invested in your emotional pain, you will unconsciously resist or sabotage every attempt that you make to heal that pain. I'm going to read it again. As long as you make an identity for yourself out of the pain, you cannot become free of it. I am like this because I went through this. You've given your pain an identity. That pain is no longer just I was beaten or I'm saddened or this is what I experienced. Now it's your story. Now it's your label. I am no longer Val. Now I am the abused. I am the raped. I am the victim. I am the pain. That's the problem. As long as part of your sense of self is invested in your emotional pain, you will unconsciously resist or sabotage every attempt that you make to heal that pain. Why? Quite simply because you want to keep yourself intact, and the pain has become an essential part of you. I remember when I was going through what I was going through, I was in my husband's world trying to figure out why the hell he left us. I was in a bad place. I remember my sister and my friend were trying to help me, trying to get me out of this and not quite understanding why I was doing what I was doing. I remember them telling me all the right things that I needed to hear. I knew what to do. I knew all of that. But I remember, turning to them and saying, if I get better, what do I do when the people in my life aren't? I was afraid of that. I was afraid to heal when I knew that the people around me were not healing and not healed and not wanting to try to heal. And I was scared that if I healed and started to talk a different language of, happiness and health and joy, that I wouldn't fit. I wouldn't belong in my life of miserable people. And it scared the shit out of me, I remember they kept talking to me about a partner, you keep picking the wrong partners. And I looked at her and I said, what the hell am I going to do with somebody who's fixed? I said, if I get with a guy who's already fixed and doesn't require fixing, what do you do? What do you do with somebody who doesn't require fixing? I've spent my whole life fixing people and being with people who are broken, and I'm broken, and what do you do when somebody's fixed? I wouldn't know what to do. And she looked at me and she's like, well, you just live. You don't have to fix anything. Now you get just to experience everything. And that at that moment in my life didn't make sense to me. It didn't make sense to me. It scared the ever-living shit out of me, so much so that I did nothing. I continued in that world that I didn't belong in for the longest time, because the concept of being fixed in a world of broken people scared me. I would have been alone. And here I am fixing myself, certainly not fixed, but fixing myself, and I've lost everybody because of it. I had to walk away. I chose to walk away. They're not horrible people. I just need to fix me before I can deal with anybody. I don't care if you're family or friends. I can't deal with me until I know what that means. So before I opened my mouth and hurt anybody else, I pulled myself out. It wasn't because they were, they're the problem. The family thinks it's all them. You think you're so perfect, it's all us. No, I know what I did. I know who I was. And I don't know how to... I can't take that back. So I'm trying to work through it. I'm trying to forgive me. Before I can go back and be with anybody else, I have to forgive me. Okay. So yeah, we put ourselves through things repeatedly, because it's terrifying as shit to fix yourself up when you're looking around and you don't even know what that looks like. Because the fixed people are hiding, and the broken people are awfully loud. They're awfully loud. The power of your presence. To suddenly see that you are or have been attached to your pain can be quite a shocking realization. The moment you realize this, you have broken the attachment. The pain body is an energy field, almost like an entity that has become temporarily lodged in your inner space. It is life energy that has become trapped energy that is no longer flowing. Of course, the pain body is there because of certain things that happened in the past. It is the living past of you, and if you identify with it, you identify with the past. A victim identity is the belief that the past is more powerful than the present, which is the opposite of the truth. I'm going to highlight that and repeat it. It was good. A victim identity is the belief that the past is more powerful than the present, which is the opposite of the truth. It is the belief that other people and what they did to you are responsible for who you are now, for your emotional pain or your inability to be your true self. Again, gonna highlight it. It is the belief that other people and what they did to you, past tense, are responsible for who you are now, for your emotional pain and or your ability to be your true self. The truth is that the only power there is continued within this moment. The truth is that the only power there is contained within this moment. It is the power of your presence. Once you know that, you also realize that you are responsible for your inner space now. Nobody else is, and that the past cannot prevail against the power of now. Okay, again, very important. The truth is that the only power there is contained within this moment. It is the power of your presence. Once you know that, you also realize that you are responsible for your inner space now. Nobody else is, and that the past cannot prevail against the power of the now. See, that's the biggest issue with people who live in the past. They are victims and they walk around as such, and because they do, they believe that they are allowed to be not just miserable, that they're allowed to take it out on the world. I'm a rape victim, I am a this victim, I'm a that victim, doesn't matter. Your mentality of whatever it is that you went through, whatever you think that is whatever you're holding on to, happened. You've labeled it, you've identified with it, you've given it a personality, and now apparently that's all you are. And that's what you walk around and introduce yourself to the world as. I have a friend who continuously introduces himself as, hi, I'm epileptic. I've stopped calling him by his name. Instead, now I say, hey, epileptic, how are you? Because every single chance he gets, he says he's epileptic. Do you want to go for a walk? I can't, I'm epileptic. He plays baseball, mind you, okay? He plays baseball. He comes home beat up every other day, but he can't go for a walk. He's epileptic. Let's go down to the water. Oh, I can't, I'm afraid of the water. Something happened to him when he was 7 years old, and he's afraid of the water. His brother tried to drown him when he was 7 years old. I tried to inform him that he is not afraid of the water. I said the water didn't harm you at all. The water was there minding its own damn business. You're the one who entered the water, and your brother's the one who held you under. So I said, stop being a victim and afraid of the water. I said, go to the water. You don't have to go in the water. Nobody asked you to go in the water. We're certainly not people who are going to harm you. So realize we're not your brother. Be in the present, and stop being afraid of something that didn't harm you to begin with. It was your brother. I said, identify that your brother is the one that harmed you and deal with your brother instead of the water. So don't label your, Unconsciousness creates it. Consciousness transmutes it into itself. St. Paul expressed this universal principle beautifully. Everything is shown up by being exposed to the light, and whatever is exposed to the light itself becomes light. So if you're living with pain from the past, that's the light you're shining for the world. That's the light that we see. That's what we see. It just is. If there's something more to you, we can't see it because you're walking around showing the world that the only thing that you are is something that happened to you. That's it. That's all you are. Just as you cannot fight the darkness, you cannot fight the pain body. Trying to do so would create inner conflict and thus further pain. Watching it is enough. Watching it implies accepting it as part of what is at that moment. That was very well said. My back hurts. My body hurts. We're done chapter 6. That reading was for me. That was my reading. That was meant for me. I had an interesting day. There goes my phone. Lovely. Yeah, I feel like that reading was mine. That I needed that today. Yeah, everything inside of me said to come to the water. That's so funny. I was going to go home. Nothing inside of me wanted to be here today, and here I am, feeling a hell of a lot better. I'm going to go home and possibly make up some breakfast for the kids if they haven't already eaten. I feel a lot better. You guys are great. You guys are great. In my world, you don't even know it. You don't even know how much you mean to me. I so appreciate your existence. I really do. You know, we can't be together, and that's okay because we are here together. You guys are absolutely here with me, and I don't even know if you know what it means to me. I really appreciate you guys. I really do. Thank you for being my friend. Thank you for being my people. Thank you for being here for me and going through this journey. What's that song Lenny sings off The Simpsons? Thank you for being a friend. Thank you for being a friend. I love you guys. We will continue another day. Okay, I can't turn this off because I have a connection notice here thing. So we're just going to sit here for a minute or two. Go away. No, we don't do bees.